church, you'll be telling them, for they say, no, I just love this place. Oh, she's relocated. All right, so let's go. That's that about that. Let's go into the teaching proper. I have just 10 slides. Okay, this thing does not like me. Please, can we go back one slide? So I'll know that. Okay, next slide. Please just help me there. So let's discuss. If they say something is low, or if they say low self-esteem, we understand the meaning of low. Everybody knows the meaning of low. So, but then we just need to define self-esteem itself. So all I did was simple. I just Googled definition of self-esteem. I cannot go into library in Unicom when there's Google, so I just Googled it. I'm just trying to give you guys some expos. Self-esteem is used to describe a person's overall sense of worth and personal value. So the key word there is sense of worth and personal value. In other words, how much you appreciate and like yourself. It involves a variety of beliefs about yourself, such as appraisal of your appearance, your belief, your emotions, and your behavior. And so this is what consists of self-esteem. So the shortage of this is then called low self-esteem. Do you guys understand? All right, so let's move to the next. Let's move to the next slide. Sorry. Let me take a break so that they will not send me packing out of my house this night. I'm here with my beautiful wife, and I'm sorry. I'm supposed to have done this at the beginning of the introduction. Please let's appreciate Moyo. Sorry, Akinwale, please. Can you see that she's very beautiful? I know, right? All right, please, next slide. Okay, so we're going to delve a little bit into Maslow's law. And you see, Maslow described this law. He says it's a psychological need, is a concept that was derived to explain and cultivate the foundation of motivation. So what makes people do what they do, or what will motivate people to do stuff. So he graded them into hierarchy. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 steps. And this is just trying to tell us the things that, so if we have not ticked a personal box, we might not be able to move to the next box. In the sense that if somebody has no house, then he cannot be thinking of friendship. Like he can't really value, his own is just, okay, I meet you on the way. The most prevalent thing on his mind at that time is shelter. Or somebody that is that does not have where to sleep, or somebody that does not have food or water. So that's like the basic thing. So if you see one big man trying to help someone, what they try to tackle first is to get the person a house. So at least let us start with that. If we can get them a house, then we can then build up on other things. I'm just trying to lay a foundation of this. So we have 5 steps. The highest is self-actualization, which is the desire to become the most that one can be. That's you that have slept, you that you have friendship, you have employment, people respect you and recognize you. That's when you now be thinking of, okay, I want to be the best I can be. Yeah? There are some things that you need to tick first. As a level of motivation, it says this means that in the order for motivation to arise to the next stage, each stage must be satisfied within the individual themselves. Let's move to the next slide. This is just a profounded theory. So the next slide. Understanding low self-esteem. Now let's go deep into our training for today. Low self-esteem is characterized by a lack of confidence and feeling badly about yourself. People with low self-esteem often feel unlovable, awkward, and incompetent. Have you ever met people that you are sitting down here, you are talking to them, and they are just looking at that person saying, it looks like he's talking about me. like those people, like they just feel like people are after them. Have you met? I've met people like that. I know you people are lucky not to have met them, but there are a lot of people like that. Like they feel like people are just after me. Like they can see someone coming now, and maybe it was just an oversight. Maybe the person did not really. Maybe he shake them, then he hugged the next person. It's an issue for them. Say, am I smelling? Why didn't he hug me? Why is he only shake? And they start overthinking. They need to start looking at the self-esteem level. I remember something that my dad does all the time. So I used to tell him, I'm like, Daddy, we need to be hiding like, let's saw that if you get to a certain level, you need to be hiding yourself and you need to watch what you say. And he looked at me and said, so you will not live your life because one person will be angry. And so if you have that mentality that people actually have what they go through, or you know your self-worth, it's like me not saying hi to maybe Obama. Maybe Obama walks in now, and I didn't say hi to Obama. Will not stand up and say, that boy didn't say hi to me. It doesn't. 1,000,001 people says hi to him. In fact, he knows that if it is by saying hi, if he stands there and says, I need 100 people to say hi to me in 1 second, Obama is at this Ikoyi junction. 1,000,000 people get there. Why? Because of the self-worth that we perceive that he has, right? So if a person knows their self-worth, there are some things that don't get to them. That guy did not invite me for his birthday. If your self-esteem is high, you think, maybe he forgot, or maybe he does not want crowd. It's okay. But if it's someone with a low self-esteem, we have money. Okay, it's fine. One day we'll make it, and then they would. Sometimes we say this thing unconsciously, but I'm not trying to say we have low self-esteem. We just, you see, while I was studying to come here, and I was reading some of the symptoms of those that have low self-esteem, and I started to say, guy, are you sure you said we have low self-esteem? All right, next slide, please. So causes of low self-esteem. Causes of low self-esteem. There's always, they say in life, there's cause and effect. So if you see somebody exhibiting an effect, there has to be a reason why they're acting the way they are. First of all, is unsupportive parents, carers, or others that play an influential role in your life, which is very important. If you have a supportive parent, there's something it does to your self-esteem, or you have people that trust in you, that, but if you have someone that's always downplaying your ideas, they don't even care, if you like, make it, if you like, don't make it, that's your business. Or you have an idea and then you take it to someone, or these people that you just expect that they will believe in you, and they don't. It's really, okay, I'll give you a story. So I'm going to be inserting stories, one small, so that it will drive the point home. I remember this day, we're still very young. I'd not even entered school. I think I just finished secondary school. One of our family friends, their dad used to give them a bus that you guys should go to Silverbed, maybe once a month. Go to Silverbed, go and watch movie, go to Bar Beach, go and... So that day they called me and said, Akin, Daddy just gave us a bus. He said we should go and watch a movie at Silverbed. Nice. So they picked me up from my house. There's a driver who will just sit there in the bus and it's good. So one of us then said, please, I want to pick my friend in Unilag. She's a student of Unilag. She's also interested. So we drove to Unilag and we picked her up. And we were on our way to Silverbed. And because we're JJCs then, I told you that Alagbado is the base. That's the hood. So we're JJC on this island waka. So there's this bridge that we climbed. I was leading us to Togo or Cameroon or somewhere. So we just parked. And then this girl says, it's fine. I'll call my dad. I said, call your dad, care. You that we picked from school, please. No. So the man will not start saying, give the phone to everybody in the car. Who are you? Who's your father? Because I know that that's what my dad can do. And so she's like, no, it's fine. He'll be fine with it. So she just carried the phone. Hello, Daddy. My friends came to pick me from school. We're going to Silverbed and we're on this bridge. And I'm like, okay, are you guys fine? Yeah, okay. Go forward, take the first right. And in my mind, I'm like, see, Papa. A girl who, like, if it was a guy, I would understand. But she's a girl, she's young. If it was someone, where are you? Where are you going to? And so, for me at that point, I understood why the girl was confident enough to know that there's somebody that when I call them, they are there for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that kind of person can go ahead and do so many things because she knows that by the time I just call like this, if it's my dad, I call at that, the first thing will say, I don't know what you say. All right. Number 2, friends who are bad influences. They can also cause low self-esteem. These are causes. Friends that are bad influences. Let me go back to my story. So, I used to be a church boy before I traveled. Well, I am, and I'm back in Christ. I'm back in Christ now. So I used to be a church boy before I traveled. I think I was 20 years old. And those friends that I told you I met on them, because they were my first set of friends, you would understand why they would say boarding gate closes in 30 minutes and they were running 5 minutes. You know that's more normal. All right. I should have understood at that point, but I'm like, let's go. So I remember the first day I got there and I said, guy, please can you borrow me your laptop? Because I wanted to watch Reverend Sam. Because now I'm not in Nigeria again. Let me watch Reverend Sam's live service. So I took his laptop and then I saw that he was very receptive. He's like, take, modem. So I watched Reverend Sam and after a while the guy just came and said, hey, I bet. So he looked at me and said, now Reverend Sam, they watch. I said, hey now, church service for, you they use my gig, watch Reverend Sam. I said, what you gave me to? He said, I just said this boy they bomb or they talk to Maga or person. Who be Reverend Sam? Like, that's when I do that. I entered one chance. Who is Maga? All right. So at that point, because they were the first set of people that I knew, I now start because they were the people I was surrounded with. So I just started to, and so their perception of what was cool became my own perception. Because I wanted to feel among. I didn't want to have low self-esteem. Meanwhile, it was low self-esteem that was making me conform. Let's go to the next one. Stress life events such as divorce, moving. Yeah, some of us just begin like, I remember there was a time that when we wanted to say the address that we were staying, we would just say, I live around after Ikeja. Because you know that's the one that is. And for us, it was cool, but it's no self-esteem. Why? Because inside that my same area, there were houses that were way better than the ones that I would go to see in Ikeja or VI. But because you were feeling like, if I tell them where I stay now, they will not. But now, we stay in Mowe. That's why I stay now. I tell you, if you like me, but if you don't like, as long as I'm not coming to beg you for money, so you don't have an opinion. But that is the level that we should get to. This is who you are, and this is what you stand for. Do you guys understand? So sometimes when moving or divorces, and sometimes women that experience divorces have a sense of might begin to develop low self-esteem. Why? Because now when they go out with their married friends or their other still married friend, and then that person's like, so my husband even just bought me a bag. They're like, hello, until your husband. Little by little, they are beginning to develop this low self-esteem. Basically, so that's number 2. Trauma or abuse. I'm sure you guys were here for Fenitola Daniels. Yes, counselor. So I'm sure she had shared some things about trauma. Trauma leads to low self-esteem because when people abuse you, you begin to feel less than yourself. I remember, thank God for the scriptures. Back to my story. So while I was with my guys, they were big boys, obviously because of what they were doing. Me, I was still collecting pocket money, and that pocket money too. By the time I come, my dad, I said, daddy, pocket money has been. I said, a little exchange rate is see. I'll tell him. By the time he sends me the pocket money, my brother, after groceries for 2 weeks, there is no. So I'll see my guys, they will collect from home. The next day, say, more guys, more come out, more with my own. No, guys, let's come out. It's for my food, after food. Anyway, so the next one is poor performance at school and unrealistic goals. So poor performance, like I said, in uni, I had that issue in uni. But one thing that helped me when I got to SA was that when they picked me up from the airport, they picked me up with the school bus because I was a new student. So they brought my name and like all those guys too were there. They're like, "Oh, go with my car." I'm like, let's just go with the school bus. So they followed with the school bus. They told the guy driving, because we're already close well, they just said, this boy is a new boy, so let's just help him settle down. So we're in the school bus, and when we got to school, one white woman came to open the door. And she's like, welcome to, your name is Akim Michael, welcome to Monash University. We're happy to have you. I'm like, mad, oh. In Unilag, they don't know your father, they don't, if you like, come, if you like, don't come. What's their business? So I was feeling very important. I'm like, this one is, she's like, okay, come with me. So this is the Faculty of Art. Hold on, come with me. Mrs. Sheridan, this is your new student. She will be taking, I say, hey, my sub-dean in my school, you dare not, who are you? So that also helped me do better that semester, because I saw that people did not, maybe because she didn't know, but in my mind I'm just thinking that even if they knew, I think that's the way they saw humans. It wasn't, they didn't look at you based on your failures or everybody has an equal shot at life. But because we cannot orientate everybody in Nigeria and say, they will call you by, Boboto buy FN now, I want money. 0.2 give me a gorilla yes school you only call up 0.2 GP. So next one is mood disorder such as depression. Once we enter depression, it's one of the reasons why people start feeling unloved, undeserving, and they just draw back. The next one is anxiety. Anxiety happens once in a while. We're just anxious. Please, next slide. We're just very anxious of. Okay, so this is where I now started looking at myself. I'm like, guy, are you sure? Are you two, you know? So these are signs of low self-esteem. Difficulty speaking up and prioritizing your needs, wants, and feelings. There's a thin line between this and being selfish. There's a thin line. But again, I feel that to get to a point in life, it's good that we are selfless. But to get to a point in life that you have to put yourself first. Because you cannot give what you don't have. So by the time you deplete yourself, you are giving. At some point, you don't have to give, and you don't even have at all. So you are down. So at the point of giving, you have to also be replenishing yourself or renewing yourself. So sometimes when we don't speak up and tell people, I know I have 10,000, but brother, I've budgeted that 10,000. Something happened yesterday at home, and I traveled, and I got back in the evening, and immediately I got back, I just settled like, I'm not saying it's bad though, you guys should not be angry.